still.
I can give you that copy pasta right now. Hold on 1 second.
The Cappy Pastorino.
Cappy Pastorino. There you go. There's a link, Reno. All right,
Dang.
so right now the map is actually Cursed Hollow. Gale Force eSports is actually going to be looking for their first ban here. Sorry, they got this started a little quicker than I expected. That was my bad. But what do you think? I don't see a Toronto ban coming out of the first pick position, mainly because it's a chokehold for NewbFail'Em. If they have any idea about the strength of her, they'll leave that to her for them to ban, so they get a first pick of their choice. So they removed the Zagara here. Again, like I said, I think we would like to see Toronto removal here. I don't know if we will. Again, we don't know anything about these teams, so predicting draft is going to be almost impossible, but...
Yeah, you know, Zagara, from my perspective, is a very safe, consistent pick. She's got great damage. She's safe because of the vision, and the Maw can be game-changing in team fights. It's just, guys, a nice, safe position. I think it's a nice, solid, safe ban against a team you don't know much about.
Absolutely.
Because she can definitely single-handedly win you games.
Especially if you have weak laning. I mean, she will just rip that one laner apart, and then if you don't get a successful gank on her, she will just constantly be botting in this 1v1 situation, and then the minute that they over-rotate, they just get an objective on the other half of the map. So I definitely think she has a lot to do. She's a great ban overall, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. Next ban coming out from NewbFail'Em. They're already dipping deep into their time pool. Again, a lot of teams are banning Toronto. They don't want to let it through, but some do. Again, she's not unbeatable like you explained earlier. So other great picks, Gale, ETC, you
Dang.
know,
Like
this
it.
is a nice, safe ban. Mosh pits are probably, like, you know, there's two heroics, in my opinion, that just can straight up 100% win you a game at any moment. One of them is Void Prison. One of them is Mosh Pit.
Yep.
If you get caught in a bad Mosh Pit, oh man, it's brutal.
It is.
And if you do not know how to, and, you know, it's hard to play around. You know, there's a lot of situations.
Especially in Cursed Hollow, there's so many chokeholds. I mean, you have to run through a chokehold that's going to be a heavy mosh. We see Gale Force eSports pick up the Toronto as expected here, and then response from NewbFail'Em, a Kael'thas. I like the Kael'thas Murden. Great denies from the Toronto. Both of them accent Toronto extremely well. Kael'thas is one of the top damages in the game right now. Murden's one of the top tanks, and they both remove a long-range CC that Toronto can follow up on to get a heavy mark. The only remaining one on Gale Force eSports aspect before the first ban phase comes through is actually Diablo. Those are the three heroes, etc, Diablo, and Murden, that accent him, and they end up not even taking the Diablo. It's an interesting choice.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting here. You know, usually with the Toronto right now, we're seeing it paired with either Murden or ETC, and I love that band.
Diablo, I love it.
And that's very smart. But go back to their picks real quick. They do go Jaina Uther. These 5 picks, you know, they're all pretty standard. These are all power heroes. They're all very, very strong. So no surprise there. But Dread, you know, this Diablo pick or a ban, very smart from NewbFail'Em.
Yeah. No, that's really smart. They do still have a lot to worry about. I mean, a Toronto Jaina Uther composition, it's a lot of survivability, a lot of healing across the board, still a heavy amount of CC and solid damage output. They're looking for a heavy lockdown, and then they get the Falstad banned for the counter of the Gust to their hyper-aggressive composition. What I definitely would like to see out of NewbFail'Em right now is a Monk. They don't necessarily need to pick it now unless they're fearful of a DPS Monk, which wouldn't be terrible from Gale Force eSports, but with their single target CC isolation damage right now, I very much think that they're going to need a palm on their half to be successful in this game.
Yeah, I agree. Monk would be a great pickup here. You know, in some situations, we are seeing Rhaegar on the rise as well. He's starting to make a comeback here, so I feel he'd fit in as well. But I definitely agree with you. Monk is the better pick. Sylvanas, no surprise here. You know, one of the ways you beat these hyper-aggressive, blow-you-up comps is through rotations.
Exactly.
So, and with Zagara off the table, Sylvanas is the next best option, as well as, you know, the silence. It's just great for initiation and Vala. So we're seeing, you know, a very standard triple-range composition here, Dread.
Yeah, no, I think that's a strange decision-making overall, largely because of the Shadow Stock being a decent answer to Strafe overall, and then also having Uther as a side healer. I just feel like Vala might not provide the amount of damage that they need overall here. I just feel like it's the wrong type of damage they should be looking for. But, I mean, it's definitely possible they could play it out. I really do like the Sylv pick overall here. As for tanks coming out from Gale Force eSport, I'm really interested to see what they might pick up here. Honestly, ETC, Murden, and Diablo are all out of the options here. I don't like a Leoric solo tank, but it is an option that they might be looking towards. I think Johanna struggles on this map as well. They might even be looking for, dare I say it, a double tank composition here, largely because I feel like they don't have very many dominant or accenting single target or single tanks. I don't know.
I honestly think they don't have a choice. I think they have to go Joanna.
But yeah, it's that's a painful choice to make at this point.
Yeah,
Especially with the Sylvanas, because they need the wave clear somewhere within their tanking. Now that Johanna's picked, I don't think they should go for a duo tank. I would like to see another DPS dealer coming out from them, and I would also like a really aggressive build out of Tyrande. Not so much a healing with the Uther, but I would like to see searing arrows with her Huntress mark or whatever it is at 13 with the attack speed bonus. I would definitely
the K1 Pro's new build. It's so good.
No, I definitely would like to see that out of her. As for a last pick, what would be a DPS they want? Raynor, obviously great sustained.
That's what I was wanting NewbFail'Em to pick over the Vala.
I agree.
Fit a lot better there.
I agree. Well, that would have been an absolutely terrifying comp. Their ability to siege, their raw damage output, and just everything about it. Holy cow.
Yeah. So it will be the Kerosene for that last pick. So, I really like Gale Force eSports comps. Their only hindrance they have right now is that Joanna. The scaling changes plus the nerf to Knights Take Pawn really lowered her down on the tier list. I have to hand it to NewbFail'Em, though. They're clearly a newer team here. Not many people know who they are. I just got done talking to them, explaining them how the map ban process to them. But for a draft, I think the chokehold on the tanks was so smart.
No, I mean, the chokehold on the tanks, and I actually think the key turning point in that draft was the Sylvanas pick. I think if they didn't take Sylvanas, the wave clear wouldn't have been nearly as big of a problem for Gale Force eSports, which is what they still struggle in their composition, even the Johanna. They choked him out, and then they left it. You either take a weak tank there, or you take a double tank style composition, that has to concentrate on wave clear. I absolutely love that decision making out of them on their part. Like, the Sylvanas was just a really good draft. Honestly, drafting is much harder than people give it credit for, and if this is one of their first tournaments, that draft minus the Vala pick, in my opinion, was almost done flawlessly. Like, it was very well done on their half.
I agree. It's really, really impressive draft coming out from NewbFail'Em. Gale Force eSport being the favorite going into this match. But I'm really excited to see how this would play out. Again, a big shout out to I was typing in chat to let them know we are ready.
Okay.
A big shout out to Divergent Gaming for putting on the event, letting us cast it. It's super awesome. I love getting to see these up and coming teams, get to see which players are starting to make the rise. What these cool strats are. So big shout out to them for putting on the event and allowing us to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Thank you very much for everybody, everybody tuning in. I'm honestly surprised with the outcome right now, with how many people are tuning in. It's an absolutely awesome. All the support coming for you guys for the amateur scene and for the casting, whatever you're here for. I just very much appreciate it. And I mean, there's not much to say. Hopefully, we can get back into this game, and I would really like to see how it's going to play out. From the draft, if you have to choose a team, Zoya, who wins the draft?
Draft
only, not what you know about the teams. Literally only draft.
NewbFail'Em. I think they won the draft.
I think NewbFail'Em won the draft as well. I actually 100% agree with you. I know the name of Gale Force eSports so much better that I am fearful that we may be wrong here, but I agree.
How Nguyen, the Raynor player for Gale Force eSports, is someone I've been recognizing a name for a long time. Hexo as well. These are guys that go way back. It's best of one, guys. Anything can happen. We're going into game number 1. Thanks for everyone again for tuning into the Divergent Gaming Open. We're on Cursed Hollow, Gale Force eSports versus NewbFail'Em, and we are loading in now. Dreadnought.
I have to change the names. Rip. Sorry, boys.
Rip. Production things, hashtag production things.
Yep.
Just, send all your angry tweets to @TempoDread for making this amazing. But we're loading in Dread. Something that this is something that I'm familiar with hearing you ask multiple times is who wins that level 1 fight, Dread?
Yes.
Which one of these compositions does that?
Without a doubt, Gale Force eSports wins the level 1. The advantages out of NewbFail'Em is that they do have 2 long distance range CCs that they might be able to get something to happen, but they're facing a double healer, a Tyrande stun, a Raynor, the Johanna's pull in with a Tyrande stun. Everything about their comp right now, they lose in the level 1 type situations. So
well, we are in that game, guys. Let's go ahead and introduce our 2 teams here on the left-hand side of the map in the blue trunks. It's going to be Gale Force eSports, Lamao on Tyrande, Ball and Beast on Joanna, How Nguyen on that Raynor, Hexo playing the Uther, and rounding out the team, it's going to be Mysticles playing Magena. And
then on the red team, NewbFail'Em, I believe is their name, we have Potatoed. I like that on the Muradin. Down on Vala, we have Ukanami, I'm going to go with there. That might have slaughtered that one. And in the upper lane here, we have KT, Monk, and Sylvanas. We have Frumgor on the KT, Droplets on the Sylvanas, and 3 3 the third on the Monk here, the Karazim. They're going with the tri-lane in the top lane. That's something that I'm actually really surprised to see out of them. Then on the bottom lane, it looks like we have a counter tri-lane coming out from Gale eSports. Strange situation to see, considering that they have the Tyrande, but not the worst decision making here.
We'll have to see, how these laning phases goes. When it comes down to this tri-lane, it's the Sylvanas, man. They have the faster push. They're going to be able to siege us in much quicker. So if it comes into a race, this composition from, oh my God, I'm spacing on the name and I feel tilted because of it. NewbFail'Em.
NewbFail'Em.
Yeah, it's doing a lot, and here they are. They're already pushing into the tower. The top one's already getting blown up pretty quickly.
Yeah, very much.
The rotation's happening. Mysticles and Ilamar are trying to rotate the top lane to stop this push, but they've already lost one tower.
Yeah, no, they tried to guess the lane that the tri-lane with Sylvanas was going to be in, and they guessed wrong. That was why we saw the tri-lane. They're rotating up to try and get up here, gank up here. Mysticles waiting for the Tyrande to show up before they actually get a full gank in. I don't know if this is going to work for them. Uther moving up, Hexo for the stun, Jaina missing the Blizzard. Tyrande stun is going to land, and they end up getting the pick. That is the power of Hunter's Mark there, ladies and gentlemen. Kel'Thas ends up going down here for NewbFail'Em.
Yep, a lot of patience there from Gale eSports as well. Jaina got there a bit early. Hexo was itching to go for that stun, but they waited patiently until everyone was positioned, and they got the kill. Nice first blood going over to Gale eSports. Kel'Thas is back up. He's going to start heading back to that lane. Taking a look at the stats of the other lanes, nothing seems to be happening too much right now. It's just going to be the battle of the tri-lane as Kel'Thas is going to be rotating back up there.
They are trying to answer the tri-lane, and an interesting thing to look at here is that level 1, we did get a With the Wind talent taken here by Sylvanas, rather than a barb shot, which would really help their early game split pushing. It will help her team fighting in the later end of the game, but I don't know if that was something. I think I would have liked to see a barb shot coming out from her. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Johanna's doing Johanna things, aka just popping W and lane clearing as best as she possibly can. Murden's kind of derping around a little bit too, and in the bot lane we don't see too much action in that 1v1 with Reyna versus Vala. On the top though, Gale eSports taking the Giants directly before the curse spawns. I really like this decision making. Bam, they wait on the cap a little bit, and the Giants are going to be pushing the top lane, but one major problem here is that the tribute actually spawns in the lane that the Giants are going to. Droplet's getting low, the Tyrande stun hits, Ripperoni and Pepperoni, boys, so Planis goes 100-0.
Yep, nice. Again, another kill there coming out. Let's, talk about the power of Tyrande. If you get stunned, it's so tough to deal with. Hunter's Mark, of course, being very, very painful. We got those level 4 talents coming in, taking a quick look at them. It will be focused attacks on Tyrande, going for the more old school damage style. Not going to be seeing that searing arrows this game. Taking a look at the rest of the talents.
Look at him patiently waiting.
Pursuit on Jaina, which is cool. And we're going to be seeing Hungry Arrow build coming out of Bala as well.
Yeah, no, Hungering Arrow build, I don't know how I feel about that. That's going to help her in the bottom lane in this 1v1, but overall in a teamfight situation, I think the spread damage is what they need. Isolated healing, or single target healing is exactly what their team is good at. They have an Uther, they have a Tyrande. Everything they do is great at the 1v1 healing, so I don't think that I like that type of build coming out from the Vala. I think we need to see spread damage coming from her. What are you smirking at? You're tilting
sees me smiling.
He's tilting me.
Wrong. You spelled NewbFail'Em wrong. You said NewbFail'Em. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to tilt you with me smiling.
No, dude.
See my webcam. I was gonna say anything.
Dude.
I was just gonna smile because it made me laugh.
I'm done.
I was poking fun at it. I'm sorry, Dread. Production for the win. Mysticles and Ilamar going for the stun. They miss it onto 3, do third, and he's gonna be able to get out of there just fine. Level 7 talents about to be picked up by both teams as this second tribute spawns, Dread.
Yeah, interesting thing that came out here is they didn't get much with those Giants, and they haven't gotten much done since the level 1 push here from NewbFail'Em. Potato On trying to come down and delay this tribute, but I don't think he's gonna. Johanna with great disengage. He ends up hitting the Stormbolt at maximum range. Volley coming in with the Q build, getting the reset, getting the damage out, but it will be enough. Rainer's backing out. Johanna gets knocked up here with huge damage coming from the Monk. Blizzard's getting damage out, but I don't think it's going to be enough here. Healing Ward going down, trying to keep everybody up. Monk needs to look out here, though. Getting the spread healing, but does he have a dash to get out? Rainer trying to get that deep flank, but is it going to be... It's not going to be able to do anything, and Johanna walking away. My play-by-play is terrible, but Johanna walking away. Stormbolt hits 2 people. Blizzard getting the massive slow onto them, but Hexo looks like he's going to walk away, and Venom comes out. Is he going to survive? Hexo's going to tap well and get away from it. Yes.
Potato Owen gets pretty low as well. Ilamar did end up losing the stun, but the tribute does end up going over to NewbFail'Em. A nice rotation there. Now, there's something that I have to highlight in that fight, which is 100% the reason why NewbFail'Em won that fight. Hungering Arrow build on Vala showed why it is a powerful pick. And, we talked about how Vala, she hasn't really found success in the meta, but you have to, respect the Hungering Arrow build. We saw her immediately take Rainer out of the fight, and then when it finally came to reset of the queue, she took Johanna out as well.
No, it was a great decision making to play it really aggressive there and isolate the Rainer and get that much damage. He was zoned the whole fight, and that led to them winning that tribute. Meanwhile, on bottom lane, the gank's going to come out. Granted, they do have a Johanna. The stun is actually going to pull 3 the third out of the way, so he will end up surviving here while the Giants push in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Gale eSports ended up getting the Knights that is going to be pressuring. The tribute now spawning with a half a level advantage sitting on the red team's half here. Tribute now falling in position advantage for the red team as long as they make the smart rotation here. Keeping Johanna in the bottom lane to try and clear the Giants. They are going to survive. Keep note, this whole tribute, Giants are pushing in the bottom lane. That's a huge advantage for red team here.
Ikomi is going for the cap there. A lot of damage going on the potato. He does Vorkloss out. Mr. Peace gets the stall.
They're positioning. They're split.
Well. Nice condemn coming out from Joanna. Gets the slow as well. And they are very split right now. Dropless goes over the wall with that haunting wave. Nice multi-shot to delay. Again, good poke coming out from Ikomi as well. And Hao Nguyen going for that cap onto the tribute. He's trying to get down, but nice stun from the Vorkloss coming out. Potato Owen going for the engage. But everyone on the end of NewbFail'Em is getting pretty there. The first step goes down on the Murd, and Ballin Beast is trying to zone as well as can. Mystic Please gets overextended right now. A lot of damage goes on to him, but 3 to third, and Dropless not able to secure that kill, and they're being chased away as fast as they can. 3 to third going for that, but does end up getting killed by Mysticles, and back at the tribute, Ballin Beast is going to cap it.
Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, we had these Giants pushing the entire time. They didn't get as much value as you would like to see out of them because Johanna was able to get that damage, but honestly, I really didn't like the positioning there from NewbFail'Em. They all came through the small chokehold rather than looping around the safe rotation that they can make because of the tribute spawn on their half of the map. I think that single-handedly lost them that tribute spawn. Meanwhile, level 10 being hit here by Gale eSports, Hyperion being taken by Rainer, Divine Shield coming out of here, Johanna yet to take an ult, likely going to be Blessed Shield, Shadowstock coming out, and then Water Elemental out from Jaina.
And then the heroics on the end of NewbFail'Em. We got Strafe, Avatar, Wailing Arrow,
Bossarino, baby.
Strike, and Phoenix. And yeah, we got a Bossarino.
Oh, that tribute spawn!
The tribute, man. That's
this is risk. They can't. It's too risky. Oh my goodness.
Fallen Beast going for the engage here. 3 to third going to get hit by that condemn. The Lunar Flare does not condemn, but 7 strike going out, doing a decent amount of damage. There's the Wailing Arrow hitting 3 people. Nice Blizzard Spike coming out from Mysticles as well, though, but he's being isolated by the Hungering Arrow. A big strafe comes out. Nice Divine Shield from Hexo from above the wall. They're keeping them alive. A beautiful Blessed Shield comes out. Potato, and a nice double strike coming out from Sharonda. And 3 people have fallen on the end of NewbFail'Em, and that is going to be a curse coming out from Gale eSports.
Honestly, I'd like to see him take boss here before they take the curse rather than doing this in this order. It would give them maximum amount of time taking this tribute, or with the tribute with the boss pushing in their favor. That is something that I feel like is a mistake here. Killing 3 people, there is no contention here. But overall, great team fight. Honestly, that Blessed Shield Toronto stun was absolutely phenomenal on Gale eSports half.
And even before that, we saw the Jaina go for the flank, do a lot of damage. It was a nice turnaround from Bala to collapse it, but Jaina rotated up just slightly to get in range of Hexo's Divine Shield, and that saved his life, and that's what helped them turn that fight at the last second. That was such a beautiful, multiple beautiful plays coming out there from Gale eSports.
Yeah, and here we see the Murden trying to go down to the bottom lane, not actually going to get stopped here at all. They are going to be hyper-aggressive here on the mid lane, going to just dive possibly here. The Toronto stun ends up hitting after the W coming out from Johanna, and look at that, 100 to 0 instantly. That Toronto's mark, man. Once again, showing the dominance. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Vala is the only one to respond to this boss. It is going to be pushing with the curse up. This will be a fort for free, even with Vala sitting down here defending, and they're going to be losing the push on the mid lane. Johanna looking to get aggressive. The gravity lapse hitting that up. I actually think that might have saved his life there. If Toronto's stun had been coming in, he might have been going down. Hyperion coming out to increase the siege here. I love this. They're going to hit 13 tier advantage, and they're abusing their siege advantage right now. They know that they're split. They know that they cannot answer to this, and they're going to say, hey, fight us at your keep or it's our keep. And that's a great way to push your advantage. Murden actually going in, missing the Stormbolt though. Jaina hitting it, Silence Arrow coming out, 7-sided strike hitting as well. Hitting a lot of people though. Meanwhile, Welly comes down, instantly obliterates him. Nice ice block there as well to keep Mysticals alive there. Again, they're just taking the fights that they have the advantage of. They're saying, we have the lead and we're going to make sure we don't lose it. I mean, that's about it.
Yeah, the 2 members down for 15 seconds. It looks like they're going to go for another boss here with having those 2 members dead as well as 13 tier talent. This is a smart decision. And you have to keep in mind that Hexo and Ilamar are both very on mana, but with that Hunter's Mark, it becomes very easy to burn down these bosses, and yeah, they're not even going to contest it. They do see that Dropless and 3 to third are both showing mid lane, so they know this boss gets to go for free. That's going to be the 3rd fort of the game, probably going over to Gale eSports.
No, very much. Yeah, that fort is 100% there. This is going going to be going down. The worst part about this situation, if you're NewbFail'Em and you're trying to find a way to come back in this game, is that we only have one tribute. Not only are you down a talent tier and everything else, but by the time the third tribute is going to spawn for you and to get this curse and actually answer to the disadvantage that you have as a team, they're going to be 16 tier. Gale Force eSports will be 16, and that is a tier that is almost impossible to fight through. Meanwhile, Mystico's looking for the aggressive rotation here. I don't know if it's going to work out for him, though. They're going to just back out and kill this boss here on the red team. But that 16 tier is impossible to fight through, and I'm afraid that that's what's going to happen if they don't win these next two tributes instantly.
We'll cross over the wall. Potato going to try and get out of there. Nice work fun going on the Mysticles here. 13 tier going to be very important here, though. You get that chain bomb. It's going to help out a lot for Fruitmore. They're doing a good job of disengaging the G. They have two people very, very low. Mysticles and Ball getting low, but they have the double heals coming out from Hexo and Ilamao. The boss is now on to the keep. A root goes out on the Murd, and there's the stun coming out. A big Blizzard 100 spark goes down. Potato getting very low. Sensei goes up, and immediately blowing up Joanna.
Oh.
Beautiful decision making there coming out.
Yeah, that is actually the first 7-sided strike that hit only one person, and you saw the amount of damage it did. Meanwhile, they're still going. The Stray's coming out. This is great. This is going to be beneficial for them. Stormbolt goes in, hits one target. Divine Shield comes out. Hexo will be falling for this, but will he be able to keep his team up with the Ghost? The healing coming out. Mal getting the turn on him. Droplets barely surviving, but look at this. Monk is collapsing behind them. Tribute's now going to be spawning on their half of the map. Mysticals looks like he's going to be going down. The Ice Block's going to come out, and that's going to be it. He will be falling. This will be a Tribute. That is exactly what they needed to come back in this game. NewbFail'Em, this is the only way, in my opinion, that they were going to. They win that team fight, they come back, they're going to get this Tribute, and now they can wait out the 16 tier before the curse is going to happen on your opponent's half. That is what they need to win this game. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Giants were pushing the whole time as well, looking like it's almost going to be good forward.
Yeah, Fort will end up going down. They're down a full level right now, but this is the common mistake we see them across teams. You know, when you have this big of a lead, you push until that talent advantage is gone. Once 13 was hit by NewbFail'Em, Gale Force eSports should have backed out. You know, they no longer had an advantage. I know those numbers look big. It's 15 to 13. That must be a huge difference. It honestly isn't that much of a big deal when you're on the same talent. So they should have
especially after scaling.
16.
The scaling changes nerf that very, very heavily. So, the levels don't matter. It's tiers are more important than anything. Obviously, levels have a small influence, but tiers are really what you should be worried about here. And again, we might see barely at the level 16 being hit right before the tribute spawns. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Meanwhile, Gale Force eSports did get the Giants to push in the top lane. They are sitting far enough back that they won't get any effectiveness for a long period of time. But ultimately, race to 16 really, at least on NewbFail'Em's half, is all that matters comparative to the tribute now.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, like, you know, there's zero tribute for Gale Force eSports, so let's just say they had to give this up because they didn't have 16 here in time. That's fine. That's only the first tribute for this rotation for Gale Force, but they should be able to get 16 here. They have to be careful about it, though. They cannot get engaged upon right now while they don't have that 16 here. They're so very, very close. Muradin's in a position to zone out here. Does Scala Island, and they do have that 16 tier, and they're going to be able to fight on even ground. Suddenly, this is a very even game, Dre. Yeah,
very much so. That was a great play on their half, on the upper half, to be aggressive there. Dupla getting out of position, though. Is going to be enough? No, Taranda's, he barely dashed into the wall, so Taranda misses here. Potato on looking to try and zone. Phoenix coming out to zone as well, but Drop was pretty low. Healing Ward's going to be able to keep him up a little bit here. Monk getting as much heals as he can, and they get the curse for free here. Interesting decision making coming out from Gale Force eSports here. Let's see what they do with it.
They don't have the best poke. You know, you got the blind from Joanna and the owls, but they really have to hard engage to force that once those are off cooldown, and they just were too afraid to do it. That's going to be the first curse of the game, going over to NewbFail'Em, or first curse for them, rather. And we'll have to see what they can do with it. A fight comes down, a condemn comes down, and a lot of damage going down. The death of Kerosene, no 75 seconds down. Divine Shield goes on the radar. Beautiful Blessed Shield takes out Kale Sauce. Bala getting very low in the background. Water Emerald's going to be slowing down, but Uther's going to fall. Going to do the best to keep up Isle along. It's a 1-for-3 exchange right now. Droplets haunting waves over the wall. He should be able to get out of here. Potato Own going to help and try and save him. Mysticles goes for a flank, and I don't know if Droplets can get out
here. They're just going to give him up, take the boss. That was absolutely worst case scenario. Once they got the curse in the top lane, you see Giants. They countered the curse in the upper half of the map. They got zero benefit from the curse there. Then they all rotate mid, and they take a team fight. The last thing you want to be doing when you have a curse for your team is team fighting. You want to be pushing. You want to be pushing as a team, but you don't want to be risking any form of death, because otherwise you get nothing out of this. What did they do? They got a curse, and they got half of a fort out of it. That is such a devastating hit for NewbFail'Em here. They had that moment where they're like, you know what, we're going to come back here, and then slowly, within one team fight, that whole gate of like possibly winning this game kind of seemed like it disappeared.
Yeah, Phoenix, they had that great advantage. They took a really awkward angle, of course, in that blow, of course, blow up on Terzine really ended up hurting them. So that boss is going to do a lot of damage to this front wall. Going to definitely end up getting it down there.
Here's a double boss.
It's going to be up a double boss for sure. They're trying to rotate up to deny it. Murden's pretty close with that Avatar. He might be able to contest this point. They do see it's coming. Are they going to commit to the fight? Looks like they're starting to back up. Potato goes in. He gets done. Taking a lot of damage there. Terzine trying to top him off. And there's the Avatar pop right now. Phoenix doing a lot of damage to that backline. Economy is going to avoid a lot of the damage coming out from Mystically. The high spot goes on. There's a big strafe happening. Seven side strike does a lot of damage.
That chain bomb.
Still going to be fun. Hexo going to go down. First death in this fight. Mystically's going for the chase on the Economy. And there's that Hungry Air Bill going to secure the kill. So another exchange going down there. Furthermore, with the chain bomb doing a lot of damage to Hao Nguyen. He's getting very low. And it looks like this fight might go in favor of NewbFail'Em, but it's being turned. They're going for the chase. Thomas gets hit for that Lunar Flare. And it looks like this should be the end of the fight. No, they're going to go back in for it. Nice stun going on the Joanna. And he gets the Unstoppable off the trait, doing a lot to keep him alive. Can Alalamato keep him alive? Haunting Wave comes out.
Oh my gosh, those Lunar Flares.
Phoenix comes out, does not secure the kill on Ball and Beast.
Yeah, and in the bottom lane, we see that boss was pushing for a large portion of the time and ended up getting a half a keep there. They aren't able to secure any more kills. They are very far behind. I think they need to try and force this boss to have any success. Denying this boss from their opponent before they have the opportunity to get level 20 and pretty much secure that the boss is going to be on their half is something that NewbFail'Em needs to be really looking towards right now, because curses are too far away for them to have any hope for coming back in this game. It's too far away. A lot of what comes down to winning the game at this point on Cursed Hollow is bosses. And right now, theirs is the only one that matters, and they're behind in levels, so rushing this is something that they might need to be looking towards, or at least baiting it. Giants taken by Gale Force eSports in the upper lane, and they're going to rotate to Knights, take those as well. Boss isn't being contested, but Knights taken by both halves. Level 19, almost and a half here, sitting from Gale Force eSports. It's going to be interesting to see how they abuse their level 20 advantage here, if they abuse it at all. It looks like a minor bait here at the boss.
Well, the tribute does spawn at the bottom. It does not look like they're going to be doing the boss. They're just going to clear this top wave. You know, what's been a game where Gale Force eSports has had the lead for most of this time. You know, at one point in this game, Dread, the kills were 10-1 in favor of Gale Force eSports. So NewbFail'Em, they are starting to make this comeback. You know, the experience is in favor of Gale Force eSports, yes, but they have been winning fights here and there. And we're going to go see for a boss trade here.
Yeah.
They're going to go for the bottom keep, though. Is this worth it? A boss
no. They're going to end up getting the keep, yes, but honestly, I feel like with their advantage, they should be able to find a way to deny. Man, Murden getting stunned. He pops Avatar is going to be enough. He ends up leaping away with that Invuln and surviving, but the boss is not worth it on Gale Force's half, but at the same time, I feel like with how close to 20 they were, they could have found a way to delay that boss, get that tribute for free. Murden was the only one to rotate and actually delay it at all. Send 2 people to tribute and send 3 to delay. Oh, the pick there. I missed that almost. Karzim barely going down here. They're getting the turnaround. Do they have Blessed Shield? Toronto Stun hitting KT. He's not going to survive. Uther Stun hit. Silencing Arrow is just not going to be in time. They now have level 20 advantage and 3 people dead. That looks like they might be forcing core here. If they do, Uther should be tanking instead of Johanna. Let's see here.
Well, they did go for the engage. Droplets taking a lot of damage from this watermelon. They're going to back out here. As they're disengaging Dreadnought, you know, we talked about it before the game started. You know, what interesting things we can see talent-wise. We're seeing a card to play coming out from Raynor. That's whenever you get a hero kill, an enemy kill, whenever a hero, ally, or enemy dies. So when any hero dies, it reduces the cooldown on your Hoek by 15 seconds. That is not a normal pick we see on Raynor.
Yeah, no, definitely is a unique pick. It actually, back in the day, was a strategy that was used by Barrel Boys. Murden actually going hard here on the Jaina in mid lane. She pops her up. Oh, she ends up blinking over the wall. Will she survive? Nope, the leap and the sun coming through. That's the kind of picks that Gale Force can't have right now. Honestly, they gave up tribute for it. Is that worth? I don't think so. Honestly, because now it's sitting 2 to 3 tributes. They have to win every tribute from this point for Curse to be on NewbFail'Em's half, but Jaina dying there. I hope they find a way to abuse this time frame where they have an advantage. Boss is spawning on Gale Force's side in roughly 18 seconds now. If they can bait and force a fight there in a 4 vs 5, that is exactly what they need to find a small window where they can come through with this game.
Yeah, it's just it didn't really make sense. Jaina's positioning there. You know, the rest of her team is back on the boss, very far extended. You know, and we do see that they're going for boss.
They're going top keep. They are 100% accepting with that Raynor talent and with Hyperion that they're just, we're going to give this up or we're going to take a keep instead. This is honestly going to pay out in their advantage because by the time Jaina spawns, the boss will be pushing only to a keep. But remember, we have a Sylvanas coming here from the red team, and that would be end up crippling Oh, they're actually going to back instead of pushing. I don't really like that response at all. Honestly, they need to be taking advantage of the fact that they got a boss here in some way, shape, or form. Otherwise, they just captured a boss that's easily going to be defended, and they gave up a keep for free. That was a losing trade all around. They should have backed to defend it in the first place. I would very much like to see that they push with this, using the Sylvanas to cripple everything and actually possibly win the game if they end up getting a pick off of this. Meanwhile, Tribute spawns in the upper half of the map. Positionally, NewbFail'Em actually has a strong advantage to getting this. Giants are pushing up bottom as well, slowly but surely making their way up to the keep, but it won't be doing anything anytime soon. And let's see what they do here. Sight is still in favor of Gale Force eSports right now. It looks like they're going to be giving up this tribute. Yes, they are.
Yeah, they're going to be giving it up here. Just positioning well, making sure they just beat them there. They got out-rotated for this tribute, so they kind of really have to just give it up here. I want to take a look at the 20 talents here for NewbFail'Em. Everything looking pretty normal. We got a Hardened Shield on Muradin, 2 Bolts of the Storms on Sylvanas, Kael'thas, and Transgression, of course, for the 11-sided strike. But we're not seeing Bolts of the Storm on Vala. We're seeing Vengeance, which is when the strafe does the penetrating bolts. Makes it do a little bit extra damage.
Yeah. No, that is an interesting talent choice. I don't think I've seen that in a very long time, especially when you're getting such a hyper-aggressive composition like this. Bolt seems to have so much utility that you almost cannot deny it. But I like the 11-sided strike here. I would really like to see him concentrate a little bit more on isolating targets rather than hitting AoE, but I definitely like their kill potential here. Ball and Beast looking to move up. Potato on blocking them. Is he going to get stun locked? He is. Is he going to go down before Avatar can even happen? Rip in cheese, baby. 11-sided strike, though. Popping the passive level 20 for there. Huge strafe coming out. Holy sh... Jano Owelli over the wall. Oh my goodness.
That was a lot of damage coming out.
An absurd amount of damage, but Uther is going to be going down, the only one going down, trading 1-for-1 in that situation, being beneficial. Now the curse is in favor of Gale Force eSports. They're now going to be pushing down mid. Hopefully they don't pop a Hyperion here. Honestly, if they get a pick, if they have Hyperion, that is going to be GG. They're going to take the keep for free here. I like this decision. I don't know what they're going to be doing after here, though. They need to get a kill before I think they can lock in this game 100%.
It's going to be tough here for them to end without getting that pick, but of course they do have that Tyrande all game. But oh, here comes out that Hyperion. They might go for that all-in on the core there, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're spreading out to avoid that chain bomb damage. They're doing as much damage to the core as they can. It's at 92%. 7-side strike goes out, doing a lot of damage, but not going to be enough to force them to back off. Bell and Beast doing a good job of zoning out the team. And I think this is it, guys. Gale Force eSports going to win the best of one and move on to the next round of the tournament.
4%, yeah. That was a really aggressive, honestly, approach to the end of that game. I very much thought that they were going to need to end up getting at least one pick somewhere before they could end it there. Honestly, I feel like if we had a little bit of positioning, more aggressive positioning coming out from the KT there, and if 7-sided strike had hit only 1 to 2 targets rather than the 3 that it did, I don't think they would have been able to end that game there, even having Hyperion in their favor, largely because the talent choices taken at level 20 for Raynor was his weakest sieging talent. So I like that they had the aggressive. They went in and they did exactly what they wanted to do, but at the same time, I very much would have liked to see a little more aggressive of a rebuttal. Holy burp there from NewbFail'Em. I don't know what happened, dude. Reported.
I don't have words. I don't have words. Guys, thanks for tuning in there. Congratulations to Gale Force eSports. They're going to go on to the next round to play North and another best of one. Taking a quick look at the bracket just to give you an update here. We got Toilets versus Chunky Beef going on in the round of 8. Unstable versus Team Higher Conscious. Kings of Blade Alpha still waiting for their opponents. And, of course, we'll be following Gale Force eSports versus North, guys. But we're going to do a quick commercial break. When we get back, we're going to have more of the Divergent Gaming Open. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, boys.